Good, happy Friday evening, June 3rd, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Friday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, doctor pleads guilty, sentenced to prison in crash that injured Salem girl. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds.
Jen and Tom, it was a very emotional day inside the courtroom today. Scott Dowd was sentenced to 3.5 to 8 years in prison. Now, he will have to serve those 3.5 years before he is eligible for parole. Today in the courtroom, Dowd entered guilty pleas to aggravated driving while intoxicated and 3 counts of reckless conduct. Dowd was behind the wheel of a car that crashed into a granite mail post, sending it flying through the Tutroni family home in Salem back in July of 2021. The incident was caught on the family's home security. 5-year-old Juliana was nearly killed when she was hit by that post. Although she has physically recovered today, her father tells us she is still dealing with the emotional impacts that she received that day. He says he's happy to see that justice was served and his family can finally start to move forward.
Be happy with the judge's decision. This is a huge weight lifted off our family's shoulders, so big relief.
Now, there are also several supporters inside the courtroom for Scott Dowd. Many of them spoke on his behalf, asking the judge for leniency, but the judge says the crimes that Dowd committed were just too serious. Besides serving jail time, he'll also have to pay about $1,200 in fines. Reporting live in Brentwood, I'm Tim Gallery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Autopsy. Man found in Windham dead of gunshot wounds to head. Man's death ruled homicide. An autopsy has determined that a man found dead Thursday in Windham died of gunshot wounds to the head, investigators said Friday. The man's death has been ruled a homicide. Officials are withholding the man's name as relatives are notified. The man's body was found by workers near a portable toilet set up at a construction site on West Shore Road near Woodview Road. Officials have not released any other information about the man's death. As gasoline prices hit another record high in New Hampshire, many drivers not changing habits. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive.
Yeah, Jen, seeing the $5 number on the sign behind me definitely hurts for drivers to look at. But at this point, they're telling us it's not impacting their plans when it comes to the roads. And there is data backing that up. We've been digging into the numbers, the toll data from the New Hampshire Department of Transportation. And they basically show that from this year to last year, the numbers are relatively flat, meaning roughly the same amount of people are driving the road and paying for gas. And people we talk to here say it's true for them, but it definitely still hurts, especially if you're filling up your truck and your boat together.
It hurts a little more, but we're still going to do it.
When you see that number, what are you thinking?
Just wondering when it's going to end. When's the pain going to stop?
Well, not this weekend. The truck was 100 plus. The boat was another 100 and change. So a rough weekend for him, but he says they're still going to go out there and have fun. So people say they're not changing what they're doing on the roads, but a new survey showing Americans are changing behaviors because of inflation and gas prices in one way. That would be eating out less, people say. Live in Hooksett tonight, Steve Botari, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Long wait times seen in New Hampshire hospital emergency departments. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What does it take to be the best? It takes guts, grit.
So our emergency room has been very busy.
Hospitals across the state are seeing an uptick in emergency patients. And while they're not all due to COVID-related illnesses, health professionals tell News 9 the pandemic is partially to blame.
I definitely think there's still some reluctance out there for sure.
Rick Hollister is the director of critical care at Exeter Hospital. He says they're seeing a lot of patients coming in that had put off care during the pandemic.
They may have delayed necessary surgical procedures, potentially waiting till it's a real crisis and then coming to the hospital.
But that's not all.
The access to care has certainly, been challenged somewhat because of staffing issues.
Dr. Matthew Gibb, Chief Clinical Officer at Concord Hospital, says staffing issues across the board are also contributing to the backup.
One thing we see, and other hospitals are too, is the ability to discharge patients to, extended care or rehab. Those facilities are having staffing problems, and also, have also had, COVID impacts. So there is a flow issue.
Steve Onnen is the president of the New Hampshire Hospital Association. He says while COVID-19 hospitalizations are relatively low, the virus is still present in the community.
Again, we need to do all the things that we've been saying for the last 2 years, washing our hands, staying home if we're not feeling well, getting a test if we're experiencing symptoms. We all have a role to play, and if we do all those pieces, I think we can make a big difference.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Donors give blood during the WMUR Red Cross Blood Drive. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The WMUR statewide blood drive is here to answer the call. The need for life-saving blood is constant, especially in the coming summer months when donations tend to drop off.
But here's the thing, blood cannot be stockpiled, it cannot be manufactured, and every 2 seconds someone in this country needs blood, yet only 3% of the U.S. population donates. So right there you see the need for people to roll up a sleeve and just give this life-saving opportunity a try.
Hundreds of people rolled up their sleeves at 5 locations across the state, including Quirk Kia in Manchester, where Rachel has a reason to take part.
This is my 10th year anniversary celebrating my survival. I did have a ruptured ovarian cyst 4 blood transfusions later, and I'm happy to be alive, and that's kind of what motivated me to get involved.
Michelle Naples donates on behalf of her brother-in-law.
Had to have blood transfusion after transfusion, and I'm choosing that to donate because it saved his life and it can save many other lives.
And Jeremy says he's no longer a first-timer and proud of it.
This is only my second time doing it, but I enjoyed it the first time giving back, and I want to continue doing it.
The blood drive runs through 6 o'clock tonight, and if you didn't have a chance to donate today, the need will be here in the weeks and the months ahead. Live in Manchester tonight, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Retired Navy SEAL's alert system could reduce response times for active shooter situations. Let's take a listen to that video from 25 News WPBF.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. And I raise my head.
But Hector Delgado was a Homeland Security agent and a Navy SEAL vet. Since his retirement, he developed ASR alert systems. This is a multi-platform system that he says reduces response time from law enforcement. Take a listen here.
Your attention, please.
The difference between our system and all others is that we go directly into dispatch. So not only do the folks under attack know what's going on, law enforcement immediately knows.
Your attention, please.
So what you're hearing now is one of the system's several components. Delgado says ASR is in place at some local businesses and schools. It's actually already been put to the test at JFK. The alarm was triggered because of a situation in that hospital's psych ward. He says the system reduced response time from a couple minutes to just 15 seconds.
The difference between our system and all others is that we go directly into dispatch. So not only do the folks under attack know what's going on, law enforcement immediately knows the physical address, the room number, and a map that shows where the button was hit or where the app was slid.
We have a lot more information about ASR alert systems, including a story our team did when it was first installed in Jupiter's municipal buildings. In this story right now over on WPBF.com. In the studio tonight, Taylor Hernandez, WPBF 25 News.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night. Goodbye.